I thought, what would lift me up? And then I thought of the hero that lifts everyone up. Superman.
You will bow down before me!
Is that how a warped brain like yours gets its kicks? By fighting the death of innocent people?
No, by causing the death of innocent people. You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
If I die, you die first!
Who are you?
A friend.
For this reason, among them, I have sent them you.
Superman was the ultimate American immigrant.
Irish kids, Hungarian kids, German kids, Italian kids, black kids, Jewish kids who were connecting to Superman. Superman became every kid's fantasy.
I came to America at about 8.5 years of age. I wasn't born here. I was born in Israel. Superman was the great longing of these immigrants to fit into society and to aspire to greatness. Übermensch. It's not the Germanic idea of the Superman, the superior man of Nietzsche. This is the greatness of the meek, the mild.
Superman established the idea of somebody who seems to be a meek, ordinary, average person and is really a superhero. And it was a formula that virtually every superhero owes a debt to even today.
Superman is the best superhero. And let me clarify that, meaning why he's my favorite superhero. And I'm going to go through in more depth than most people go to. Most people want to say, oh, because he has heat vision, because he has super strength, because he has this and that, and so forth. But to me, what makes Superman the best superhero is because he has all these things and all these abilities to be a god among us, but he makes a conscious decision to be one of us. So think about for a second, if you had the ability to fly, to do everything Superman does, would you choose to sit in traffic every day on your way to work? Would you choose to let a office bully punk you in front of everybody? Would you choose to go help a kid get a cat out of a tree? I mean, most of us, in all honest answer, would say no. We wouldn't. You know, we would probably more than likely be supervillains if it really came down to it. To me, that's one thing that is so preeminent and so important about Superman character. And to me, it's the way the kids raise him, as we've seen in other comics when he's raised by somebody else, how evil Superman can become. And to me, one of the coolest things about Superman is, even though he has all these abilities that he could literally force you to do what he wanted to, he still doesn't. One of my favorite scenes in the comics is when he talks this person out of committing suicide on a rooftop. He says something more or less to the effect of like, you know, hey, there's a lot of people down there, you know, you really want to do this in front of them? And he basically tells the person, you know, if you want to jump, jump. If not, I will save you. And I mean, I think that's something that's what makes him super to me. People always say Superman isn't relatable. So let me cover that real quick. So if you're a boss at a company, it doesn't matter what it is, Walmart, whatever, and you have to make the integrity choice of whether to do the right or wrong thing every day, whether it comes to managing money, whether it comes to managing people, or even for me, I'm a military police. So I have to make the conscious decision to make sure I have integrity when I'm doing my job, to make sure I do the right thing. You know, I could make somebody's day terrible just as much as anybody at any scale of work. You know, you could go from the corporate level to the highest point or to a lower point and you're just dealing with a customer. In the end, you do have a bit of power. And I know it's not on the Superman scale, obviously, but to me it's the same thing. It's no different. That also comes back to play with where some people can't do the right thing all the time, you know? So that's, to me, what will always make Superman the best to me. Why I will always love Superman more than any other superheroes that are out there.
I failed him in life. I won't fail him in death.
Superman, you bring this team together better than I ever could. His strength
doesn't matter how strong you are or what abilities you might have.
He's more human than I am. He lived in this world, fell in love, got a job. Despite all that power, the world needs Superman and the team needs Clark.
The world needs the Justice League, and the Justice League needs you, Superman.
I've got some things to say. I should have said them when you were here, but despite our differences, I have nothing but respect for you. I hope you know that. You showed me that justice doesn't always have to come from the darkness. I'll miss.
Superman was the first hero, at least as the way we know them to be, a Hercules of the modern day. His ability to leap tall buildings in a single bound and run faster than a locomotive. He set the bar for the modern hero, and I'd argue it still hasn't been beat. There is a lot to this character, this Boy Scout, the Big Blue. Superman. He has this crazy ability to just endure, to always remain relevant, especially when his values are said to be outdated. We, the audience, have become Lex. We've started to frame Superman, see him in the way that Lex Luthor does. Common complaints about reading Superman overlap with Lex's very thoughts on the Man of Tomorrow. Readers complaining about Superman not being compelling because he was just gifted with powers, and we, the audience, have become Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is a cynic. In the modern world, cynicism has been confused with wisdom, and optimism conflated with naivety. Lex sees Superman's optimism, his belief in the good of mankind, as naive, that he's fooling himself. Fathom is that Superman sees what men can be, the good and the bad, and chooses to believe in people in spite of that.
It doesn't matter. Nothing does.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, sir. Everything matters. Everybody matters.
In that way, Superman is making a much harder choice than just having to be cynical about mankind. In that way, it makes Lex's cynicism look less smart and more easy.
If it had mattered to you, Luthor, you could have saved the world years ago.
You're right.
And this is how Superman sees Lex, a man that's chosen to make the easy choice. Because cynicism is easy. It's a form of blunt statements without actually thinking, giving the appearance of wisdom and intelligence. Sure, it's where Lex gets his snappiness from, but when push comes to shove, his ethos is rather bitter. We so often see the complaint that he's too strong. After all, what's compelling about an invincible protagonist? And to lesser writers, yeah, you'd be right. But in the hands of someone like Grant Morrison, well, it's a playground of sorts.
I think what was great was, and what he did was to take things we all understood. Like you say, Superman suddenly has a dog, and he's got a den with all his stuff in it, and he's got relatives who are aliens, and he's got friends from the future. But the actual stories are all still about guilt and loss and fear and love and everything we understand, but on an epic scale. So if Superman walks the dog, he walks it past Saturn. And I thought those are all the things that make the story, you know, because the great thing about Superman is even when you can juggle stars, Lois Lane can undermine them with one cruel word. And that was what was powerful about it for me, was the fact that's why we made him even more powerful than ever, because everybody kept saying, you can't write a Superman story, because if he can do anything, then what conflicts are there? And I thought, well, emotional conflicts, the biggest ones, the things we all understand.
Superman is a character that is rich for discussion. Being able to talk about his purpose, what he means, it's been explored and more importantly reinvented multiple times throughout the year. Superman knows right from wrong. It's a part of what the Kents gave him, a kind heart and strong values. Ironically provides the best argument for Superman upholding his traditional virtues, a pillar of strength, a teacher to other heroes, and to mankind, to show us what we can be. Sure, he doesn't have all the answers, but at least he knows right from wrong.
Ultimate immigrant story, showing him as an outcast of both Kryptonian and Earth cultures, while trying to form a bridge between them. Batman v Superman looks at the socio-political aspect of this experience. Media xenophobia and paranoia loom over this film as Superman, while only trying to do good with his gifts, is put under constant scrutiny by the people he's trying to protect. Once again, taking the notion of being scared of your foreign or alien neighbor, the world looks at Superman as a stranger and a threat.
People hate what they don't understand, but they see what you do and they know who you are. You're not a killer, a threat. I never wanted this world to have you. Be their hero, Clark. Be their monument, be their angel. Be anything they need you to be. Or be none of it. You don't owe this world a thing. You never did.
Closer to what many, including Muslims, African Americans, Latinos, Jews, feel on a daily basis in our current political climate. What Zack Snyder achieves in Batman v Superman is effectively hold two mirrors. One to mirror many minorities, immigrants and Muslims, through the experience of Superman, and another at the very bigots themselves through Batman. In many ways, Batman mirrors the fear you see from the other side of the debate. In Snyder's Batman v Superman, you see Bruce Wayne's regression and literal fall from grace as he gives himself up to the hate and xenophobia many Americans willingly and even unwillingly give into. This was a bold move by Snyder, as he arguably took the most popular and marketable superhero of our time with Batman and flipped him on his head. What this leads is seeing a mirror of what hatred, xenophobia, paranoia has done to the best of us. Batman's fears of Superman are based off of what many Americans feel about immigrants, and you see firsthand what Zack Snyder regressed Batman into, someone who dictates every action through fear and mistrust. The key quote to capture the sentiment:
"That son of a bitch brought the war to us 2 years ago. Jesus, Alfred, count the dead. Thousands of people. What's next? Millions? He has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And we have to destroy him. But he is not our enemy. Not today."
Bruce's quote closely mirrors the sentiment of many Americans, media members, and politicians who adopted to validate their hate for another human being. Bruce's 1% quote about Superman is almost a direct parallel with any bigot's thoughts on immigration, as a mirror to show our society what we have become. In today's climate of neo-Nazis and KKK sympathizers marching with torches in their hand against immigration, the proverbial mirror only reflects the ugly truth clearer. Zack couldn't leave Bruce in this state because the theme of Batman v Superman is to overcome the darkness inside you and find the hope you can bring to others. He gave Batman a path to redemption, a path many of us can follow to be better people. When Bruce opened his eyes and got to see Superman past his black and white mentality, he found change. When he found out that this man, despite being an alien, is no different than him, he realizes how demented his mentality was. The Martha scene of Batman v Superman is a figurative and metaphorical moment. The idea of having the same mother's name doesn't even scratch the surface. The scene represented Bruce realizing he has become exactly what he painted Superman to be. The way they reconcile the differences is realizing how similar they both are, how human they are. If we took time to reach across the race lines, the religious lines, we wouldn't have the same level of fear we do now. What Zack Snyder tells us is to look at our neighboring cultures, religions, races, and find that deep down we all want the same things in life. That is a true beauty in Zack Snyder's message of Batman v Superman. And as a Muslim myself, I can tell you firsthand that Superman's experiences in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman deeply resonate with me. Today's socio-political climate is difficult for many groups. Many, including African Americans, Hispanics, Muslims, feel the hatred that this country can produce. The current political climate and the horrors occurring both domestically and internationally make our experiences that much more powerful. Superheroes have always been there to tackle these problems in comic books. Heroes to give us a direct mirror into our society. For that, we all need to give an applause to what Zack Snyder has been able to accomplish. We don't always want to see our heroes fall from grace to show us the ugliness of our own society, but the reward when they do find the better angels of their nature is that much better. As a lifelong Superman fan, I've read, watched, and experienced countless stories and epic moments from the character. Superman speaks very much to who I am now and how I've matured. Zack Snyder's Superman is the most universally relatable version of the character, and its social, political, and cultural significance will hopefully be appreciated more over time. I think the best way to end this essay is to leave you guys with a quote from Jor-El. Hopefully we can all take something from it. Thanks, guys.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun count. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
I think I need a break from all the Marvel MCU content.